welcome back to another video. Today we are looking at Amazement Evil Twin. Amazement's new archetype that is really consistent and can definitely it's just really sticky and can put up tons, not really tons, but it can put up a good amount of disruptions every single turn, which is its main selling point. And the Evil Twins, just a normal summon engine that help you increase consistency, help you increase the amount of disruptions you get. And this deck list is pretty small, so you have tons of space to run extra generic hand traps and regular traps too. So I guess we'll get started, shall we? First up, we have the triple Amazement Administrator Arlechino. He's probably the most important one, since he's kind of the main reason why we run the Amazement engine, just because it doesn't use its normal summon because of Arlechino. And generally, you don't even generally, as long as you have access to him, you have access to all of your other attraction traps, and all of the attraction traps have effects like this card can search an amazement amazement monster, or it can send a spell trap your opponent controls graveyard. This one is a DD Crow, or it can also just change level, which is not good, I guess, but you know, changing level versus virtual world is super funny. And double horror house. This is a Book of Moon or an Imperm, depending on what you want. So triple Arlechino gives you access to all of them. On top of that, you can banish attraction traps in your graveyard in order to destroy cards your opponent controls. So not only do you have the spell speed 2 disruption, but you also have a spell speed 1 board wipe, which is just absolutely insane. Next, we run the 1 copy of Comica. And now Comica is it's kind of the Amazement normal summon. You usually want to search it as a follow-up, like turn 3 with your Cyclone coaster. And what she does is when it's normal summon, you can search an attraction, any of your attraction traps. So you can search anything you need, and she's also able to change the equipped monster of the attraction traps. In case you don't know the gimmick of attraction traps, they like equip themselves to a monster on the field, and then depending on the controller of that monster, gains different effects. So you, depending on what effect you want, Comica can help you there. Triple Amazing Time Ticket. This card is absolutely broken. It can either search any of your Amazement cards on your turn, or it can search any of the attraction traps on your opponents. So it's just able to search any of your free disruptions. Also gives you extra consistency, so that is incredibly powerful. Next, we run Amazement Family Face. This card, it's not an attraction trap, so it's not as searchable as Arlechino, or like any of these cards, Cyclone Coaster, Rapid Racing, Horror House, none of them. But Family Face is able to just, it can take control of an opponent's monster, but it does have to be equipped with an attraction trap first. So it can sometimes be difficult, because the only attraction trap that really stays on the monster in this deck is Rapid Racing. So sometimes it can be difficult, but still being able to take control of the monster, you have to run at least one of it. A triple Cyclone Coaster. Cyclone Coaster is able to search any of your Amazement cards. So if you don't have access to Administrator, you want to get that. And if it's equipped to one of your monsters, you can just send a spell trap your opponent controls, so to the graveyard. So that's really good, just a free MST and also searches. That's why we run at 3. Doing Rapid Racing, you usually search Rapid Racing of Comica. Its effect when it's equipped to one of your opponent's monsters isn't too good, so we don't really need that too much. But sometimes it might come up against certain matchups. Like if it comes up against Virtual World, this card has actually won me a game against Virtual World, because I increased the level of their Shen by 1, and they couldn't make a VFD. It was really funny. So we are running the 1 Rapid Racing. 2 copies of Horror House. This is probably one of the better traps. You would arguably just put it at 3 with Cyclone Coaster, but the deck was getting a bit chunky, so I decided to cut it down to 2. What it does, it can either change one of your opponent's effects. If it's equipped to your opponent's monster, you can flip it down as a Book of Moon, and if it's equipped to your monster, you can just negate the effects of one of your opponent's monsters. So that is a really versatile effect, just free disruption. The only reason I'm not running at 3 is because the Amazement traps are just so accessible off Arlechino that I couldn't really justify running it at any more than 2. And that's it for Amazement Engine. Next we run our Evil Twins, a triple Kiss Kill, triple Lila, triple Secret Passphrase, triple Entrance. This should be pretty self-explanatory. All of the evil live twin monsters are all starters, so you want to run them, and Secret Passphrase and Entrance just help you get to them more consistently. On top of that, Entrance doesn't even need your normal summon, so if you have access to Comicat, that's great too. And next we run the that's our Evil Twin engine, just generic hand traps. You can really just run whatever you want here, but depending on what you need, you can run a triple Skullmeister. In my opinion, Skullmeister is better than Ghost Spell. It stops Virtual World. Their Kinglong, and Kinglong is such an essential search. It's really difficult for them to do anything without it. Against Eldritch, you can stop all of the traps and Eldritch's graveyard effect, so that is super strong. And let's see what other. Against Drytron, this card just kills the Drytron deck, stops them from using Benten, stops them from using Drytron effects in the graveyard, so that is insanely powerful. Against Dogmatica, well, it doesn't come up that much against Dogmatica, but to be fair, Ghost Spell doesn't either. So I mean that's kind of my justification for running 3 Meister, only 2 Ghost Spell, but as I said, you can just run whatever you want. This is just a generic spot. Next we run triple Ash Blossom, best hand trap of the format, 2 copies of Ghost Spell. Ghost Spell is just another it's a free negate, but it's a lot more situational in terms of its matchup, so only 2. And finally, just generic traps, triple Ice Dragon's Prison and triple Solemn Strike. Ice Dragon's Prison just being the insane, it's just insane being able to get rid of your opponent's monsters in the graveyard. So it just straight up, this is probably one of the worst cards for Eldritch, just because it straight up just kills them, just banishing. You can banish up to 2 Eldritches at the same time, so that is absolutely insane. Triple Solemn Strike, just another negate. It's also spell speed 3, so your opponent cannot respond to it unless they have Red Reboot. And let's be honest, Red Reboot is kinda limited, so here they're not going to be getting it that often. So that's it for the main deck. For extra deck, this is just more generic stuff. You can really put whatever you want here. Unchained Abomination was one of them. It's just an Evil Twin card, I guess. Let's see, Access Code. Access Code is really good with the it's really good with the Live Twin, since it is able to all the Live Twins are Cyber, so you can go into Transcode Talker or a Splash Mage if you wish. And the BLS link, mainly if you want a link of Arlechino if you're up against certain matchups, like say Eldritch Invoked, I believe is one of the better matchups. That's kind of the more relevant ones. This can definitely beat Eldritch Invoked. You just use effect, gain 1500, and they can literally not beat you. The Transcode Talker is another super strong card. Just revive something in order to go into access code and then just obliterate your opponent's board. We run Nightmare Unicorn, Phoenix, Cerberus. It's pretty self-explanatory, it's just spot removal. Update Jammer in case you're able to get into it. In the I guess it's a lot more situational, you might say, but I guess what am I saying, it's kind of more difficult to get it because it's difficult to get an extender plus your live twins on the field, so that can be something to keep note of. But I still like the update jammer in here since it does guarantee the OTK. The 1 copy of Phoenix, Cerberus, spot removal. A triple Kissicle, triple Lila. You kind of need the triples just because you burn through the Evil Twin resources really quickly. So you run a 3. And finally, the 1 copy Splash Mage. In case you only have the 2 Cybers, in case you're going for the follow-up OTK, you just normal summon the Kissicle, summon out Lila, go into Splash Mage, summon back something, go into Transcode, summon back Splash Mage, go into Access Code, and that way you have a 5.3k beat stick which can destroy 2 cards on the field. Spell speed 4, by the way. So that is really strong too, so you should definitely be aware of that. And that is kind of the deck. There are probably tons of optimizations I can make. Still, the Amazement engine, nobody really knows what the most optimal engine is. In my opinion, I just like to run this specifically. If you have your thoughts, don't forget to leave them down below in the comments. And I guess I'll see you next time. Goodbye.